Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, everybody? Hey, we're back for more Chrono Trigger. Nearly to my favorite part of the whole game. I love this part quite a bit, too. We're at Magus Castle. Yesterday, we went ahead and defeated Magus' two cronies, Slash and Flea. And now we're after the big man himself, Ozzy. May he rest in peace. I think I'm going to... It's a hard one. This is a hard one. Do I really want to take Marley with me here? Or do I want to be a little bolder and take somebody else? I really think I ought to take Marley for the healing. As much as I'd love to switch to Robo, he's already at level 22. I don't know. Seems a bit unfair. But then they're both water as well, so I don't know. I think I will switch though. We'll go ahead and switch it up. We're gonna switch to Robo here for a little bit, and see how far we can make it into the castle proper. Yeah, as I said, we already defeated Ozzy, or no, already defeated Slash and Flea. Beg your pardon. So, we've got to get through here through these crony bits. Well, Robo does have his big shadow, his shadow lasers. So we may just roll with those for disposing of the weenie enemies. All right, level up. Doesn't sound so bad. What's up, Dwarven Barista? How's it going? With Big Red. Hold tight a little longer. Hey, welcome to the stream. How are you today? Did you ever get a hold of Mr. Captain Supreme? You two got put in touch. I did reach out to him, so he knows you're coming. Well, he didn't think you're a bot or something. I don't know. I don't even know if he would think that. Oh, yeah. That sounds like a good oh, yeah. Oh, it didn't take care of these two guys. I was just zoning out. La, 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 la. That's basically me right now. I was just zoning out. I thought they were toast, but they weren't toast. They were still there. Nice. I'm glad that you two were able to talk shop successfully. That does my old heart good to hear that. He's very talented. I'm sure you'll be happy with the product that you ultimately get out of him. I certainly have. I don't know that you've seen... there was a previous YouTube channel that I'd worked on called Game-Logica. G-A-M-E, Game Logica. And that was a project that he contributed to as well. Oh, I just should have hit the other guy. It was a project that he contributed art to as well. So you could get a wider example of some of his stuff. I'm sure you've seen some of his work as well. Dan, how's it going? Good time of day to you, fine sir, as well. For me, it is 1 p.m. Central. That's the time that I start streaming, and on most weekdays when I can afford to. Today's nice and quiet, just me and the cat at home. So it was a good day for Chrono Trigger. Let me tell you, it's a good time. I love Magus Castle. This is an excellent part of the game. Really, there are so few non-excellent parts of the game. I was trying to think of this earlier. What actually is like my least favorite part of this game? And I don't really know. It seems like most RPGs that I'll replay will have, like, no, the circus section, or the section where they make you do fetch quests where you got to get 10 mushrooms for 40 guys over and over again. But this one, I think for a lot of people, the first time you get to the future is kind of a downer, especially after the game's bright colors and such previous. But I don't mind that part. I quite like it. I love the tonal jump. I like quite a bit of the music in the future. So I don't know. Least favorite part of this game is tough. The future area is so well made. I hate it. It is pretty well done. Yeah, you get the sense that they've given up hope, right? I'm in a good mood today. Now I have a Sega Saturn and a PC engine to test out after work. Did you just buy a Saturn and a PC engine like at the same time? Saturn, I don't know a whole lot about PC engine. I'll be fully transparent, but the Saturn is such a wonderful system. Difficult to emulate, so I like having that one around as well. Were them online a couple weeks ago. Oh, from Japan. Are they both Japanese versions? It has PC Engine, the TG16, but the Japanese version. So it's a Japanese Sega Saturn? Okay. Probably much more affordable as well. Yeah, there he is. The headman himself. Got a mist robe. Sounds like it's going to be something for the ladies. We've got that, but I really want to keep Ruby Vest on because we're going to have some stuff later on that goes down. Oh, you can't put a robe on the robot? It's in the title. Okay. That would have been my guess, but yeah, I'm not super familiar.
I grow tired of this. Slash! Flee!
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Ozzy, but they can't help you now.
Why, you fly-eating, tongue-flicking... Ozzy's in a jam!
And he floats away. Thou canst not... Oh, I keep wanting to default to a non-Kermit voice for Frog. Just gotta get back into the zone. Thou canst not run! Let's go get him. Bonk's Adventure. You know, in like the era of mascot platformers. Isn't it bizarre some of the platformers that or some of the mascots that we did get? Like Bonk. Was that ever super appealing to like was anybody ever like, "Oh shoot, Bonk, I got to get that system." I don't know. Oh, soldering. So I stay hands off on hard mods personally. That's far out of my comfort zone. But that's awesome that you could do that to that Saturn. Only thing I know is so grabbed a couple of Bomberman games. Loved Bonk as a kid. So was it like what was like the appeal of Bonk? Because to me, like Bonk and like Alex Kidd are at the same level. Like who the heck is like, oh, they got Alex Kidd, I gotta get a Genesis, you know? I couldn't see the appeal of those characters. Got a dark mail. That's gonna come in handy. I'm gonna slide that right on this guy. I thought I remembered that being an absorption ability.
How's this?
But I guess not. I guess it wasn't. You almost got me, Azu. Not today.
What the? Impossible!
And I'll just help myself to some of this. The Doom Finger. Doom Finger. What a cool name for a weapon. Doom Finger. As a kid, Bonk was cartoonishly violent. I'm honestly surprised it didn't appeal more Western nonsense. Art was cute and funny. See, I always thought it was just kind of ugly as a character. And I didn't get that, like, hey, here's a caveman, and that's it. You know? Like, kind of like Chuck Rock was, like, another attempted mascot platformer from the time. It's like, he's just a caveman. What's, like, where's the depth of, like, a Sonic or a Mario? Oh, no, James! Ozzy did nothing wrong. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here we go. This, like, Donkey Kong-ish section of this game is peculiar. I think we've established that Shadow will take care of these guys as well, so that's what we're going to roll with. Because it's so cheap. Laser Spin is a cheap. Dollar store version of a dollar store character is how that reads to me, right? Like they're both cavemen. I don't know. Maybe the violence thing, I didn't play enough of it to see like the cartoonish violence. I just got like he threw his gigantic head at people, and that's about all I got out of it. So I don't know. We need barrels. We do need barrels. We need barrels. Plus, they were doing a lot of caveman content too, right? Like you had Joe and Mac as well. I don't know. I never saw the appeal. I can't reach that, right? Like, is there any way to reach that? I can't recall actually. Joe and Mac. Rock required more skill than most platformers of the time, which made it somewhat addictive. Oh, I've actually never heard that. That's appealing. I mean, I do tend to think that, like, later Mario could be really hard. I mean, like, one of the hardest platformers I've ever played is Lost Levels. Japanese... oh, you gotta catch that guy as he's coming down. Got it. Japanese... Mario 2 is rough. Yeah, it was the aggro. It was the aggro. That's alright. We're not going to worry about it too much. He's got a magic defense on. Well, let's go ahead and do this then. And then we'll hit him with laser spin. I did not have the praises being sung for Bonk on my calendar today, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, I remember this. So let's see if I can remember where they all are. Nope. What? Okay, you know what this calls for? This calls for some lightning. Now, which one is Bonk's Revenge? Is that the third one? I've got a TG16 Mini here, and I was meant to hack it and deck it out with the full library, but never got around to it. There's some things that I'm interested in playing on that system, but I just don't know enough about it to put the time in for that. Lapis, I can't remember what that does. It's going to be all the way at the bottom. I didn't have another one. Here we go. Restores 200 HP for all. So that is like the mega elixir of sorts. Let me see here. By the way, if you weren't here yesterday, we did read a quotation from Yasunori Mitsuda talking about the oh, I forgot about this. Talking about the work that he did on this soundtrack. And this song in particular, he made sound similar to the track that plays in Zeal Palace, which is another kind of low droning track. But he said the laughter here of a child in the background is the sound that Magus laments for not having a childhood with a decent mother. Whoops. That is quite sad. Quite sad indeed. Rondo of Blood I have played. Not to completion, but I've played it. Oh, it's the second one. Okay. Actually got to Castlevania quite late in life. The first one that I ever beat was Symphony of the Night, and that was already post 2000 via emulation. But kind of coming around to exploring the series more as an adult, I quite like Castlevania. So I was talking about Castlevania recently, Metroidvania more particularly. And I expressed that I was, and this was actually surprisingly controversial, but I expressed that I was surprised that we had not come up collectively with a with a term that allowed us to differentiate between Metroidvania that has RPG progression systems and Metroidvania that does not. So, for example, Symphony of the Night versus Hollow Knight. We don't currently have a term that I'm aware of that allows us to make that distinction easily. And so we have to say something really long like what I just said, which is not the most convenient thing. But being all for science and taxonomy as I am, I would be very interested to see what they could come up with. Now, I don't see the plot either. I couldn't remember where it was. Let's have to keep doing this. Oh yeah, Ease in Newtopia I would probably get into as well. Yeah, Newtopia seemed like one of those like highlight Zelda things that I would probably have liked as a kid. Though that system in general would have been way too expensive for me to get into as a kid. But I don't think I even knew anybody as a youngin' who... whoa, almost missed that. I don't think I knew anybody as a kid who even owned a TG16. Now, given that Hawaii had a different kind of market going on there were a lot of imports. I saw a lot of Super Famicoms and things like that, but it was all PlayStation, Nintendo, Genesis. I knew one kid who had a Sega Saturn. One kid. Luckily, I got to go over to his house and play great games like Guardian Legend. Loved it. That's a fun one. I think I've fallen into every single one of these holes so far, which that feels great every single time. That's all right. Easily dispensing with these whatever they are, creatures. Yeah, get out of here, you little sparkly doodads. Okay. Maybe that was the last pit. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and we'll use a shelter here as well. They're cheap and affordable, and that's mostly for MP. Okay. Let's try this one. Nope. You knew a daycare that had a TG16? Really? I don't know. That's so surprising to me. Aegis, how's it going? We are back in Creepy Town. Watch you take me to Creepy Town.
Watch you take me to Creepy Town.
There's a secret hidden treasure. It was still being rolled in that daycare. They got it super cheap being the early 90s. Am I thinking of a different system? It might be Neo Geo that I'm thinking of. I thought that TG16 was, in general, a more expensive system. I know Neo Geo was like the top, like, insane expensive. They had Bonk and a few others. Rondo of Blood might have been... I can imagine a daycare in the 90s being run by people who probably wouldn't put Rondo of Blood in it. But, hey, you never know. The 90s being what they were. Again? Freaking again. Okay, so getting it on clearance was the way to go. So it must have been love. It must have been love, but it's over now. That was the tagline, actually, coincidentally. The marketing tagline for TG16 in the 90s. You could look that up. It's on Wikipedia. Okay, Ozzy, you got me with, I think, every single hole that there is. I think there's one more right in front of him.
What the? Impossible!
And he runs away crying like a nerd. There we go. Oh, okay. I guess outlaws don't like that. So Oh, no. Okay, all right, all right. There, now you're out. The jugglers mess things up. That's what it is. They're always messing things up. So we'll try and avoid aggroing them. Especially in this area. TG16 was $400 hourly. Holy smokes. Yeah, that explains why I didn't know anybody who had one. I guess even later. Well, probably an issue with Hawaii is even later, once it was on clearance, there already wouldn't have been that many units in Hawaii anyway, right? Lots of people move away from Hawaii, so they probably took their TG16s with them. Yeah, and you're right, Dan, with differences between the Japanese and the Western markets. And this is why, to make a general kind of sort of principle statement, this is why I generally try to avoid using Japanese sales figures and Japanese data to suggest that a game is good or not. And that works both ways. So like a favorite example that I like to use is Live Alive. Live Alive was not a success among its original Japanese audience, and so they didn't bother localizing it. Now, Square Enix today has tons of loyal fans, and so they bring out Live Alive, and the fans today are like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Well, like, so, you know, what happened? But you got to acknowledge that there's a difference in tastes, certainly different in cultures, all that's different in philosophies and that sort of thing. So it is interesting to note that sometimes things do spectacularly in Japan but flop here, or vice versa. They'll flop here but do spectacularly in Japan. Ozzy is always in a pickle, because he is a pickle. Changed my mind. Oh, 3DO price at launch. Another one was Lynx. I don't think I've ever seen a Lynx out of the box being played in the wild. I don't think I ever have. Or Jaguar, I'm thinking of, not Lynx, Jaguar. Atari. They're like, why don't we just name them after predatory cats? If you're going to buy Live Alive. So for what it's worth, I did not care for Live Alive. I could see why the original Japanese audience didn't care for Live Alive. If you're one of those that wants story in your RPGs, you are getting extremely short vignettes in Live Alive. It felt like a prototype to Octopath Traveler. But it has that kind of allure of, oh, this is a Japanese exclusive, which I think is what initially draws people into it. Let's see. Yeah, enemies using dual text, even triple text. That's super cool. Super cool stuff. Okay, so I would like to heal up here. Store all allies some. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. Okay. Yeah, Metroid doesn't sell well, period. It's not a best-selling series. And that's, some people don't get that either. It's like, why don't they make more Metroids? It's because nobody buys them. That's why. Why do they keep making more, why do they keep making more, Marios and Pokemons and Zeldas? Because that's what sells. And part of that may be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Sure, I think that's an interesting angle for that discussion. But there's also appeal and mass appeal. So, and that's coming from somebody who quite likes Metroid. That is not a pejorative remark against Metroid in the least. Nintendo uses Metroid, not Metroid uses Nintendo. Draw in the hardcore crowd to get attention for their other games. Maybe. I don't know. Can you demonstrate that through the data that exists, like the sales figures and demographics? I don't know that that's possible. It's certainly one of Nintendo's more mature franchises, but that may also be kind of the double-edged sword there as well, in that, you know, it's on a system where people, especially historically, were expecting to get, you know, kiddie-style games. Or more, not kiddie, that's pejorative, but more family-friendly games. And so something like Metroid maybe doesn't necessarily fly. So you're almost shooting yourself in the foot in that regard. But you do have, I think, by the time you get to the GameCube era, then Nintendo is really starting to appeal to older teenagers. But before that, certainly, NES, Super Nintendo, there was a lot of appealing to kids. Metroid secretly flying down over Miyamoto's head. Oh, are you accusing me of not reading? No, you said maybe. You said maybe. And taking that question, I'm asking if you could demonstrate that from the data, then that maybe would be a yes. But if you can't, I don't see why you would suggest it. That's it. I did read it, though. Metroid is... Okay, flying over here. He is controlling him. He's been infected by an X. Oh, yeah, the Metroid thing. Forgot about that. Okay, we go. Back to the game. But it's not just theory, it's a game theory. Whatever happened to that guy? But he's still doing stuff. Alright, we took care of that. This is a long area. I don't think I remembered this room. I remember the pit room. You know what? Ozzy, kind of a jerk, dude. Kind of a jerk. Actually, we're going to go ahead and use Lightning 2. There we go. An official Animal Crossing and Doom crossover game. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Never gonna happen, though. Absolutely never gonna happen. No way. Because, man, is Nintendo's very protective, I think, of the purity of IPs. Smash is one of those where, like, hey, you're doing kind of a crossover here. Mario Kart, you know, that sort of thing. Wow, imagine the confusion that would reign if Nintendo did do, like, a rated M crossover between Animal Crossing and Dune. It'd be crazy. How's it going, Siren Song? It is the best game. It's good stuff. Oh, I forgot to do the one up top. Darn it. Have you seen the Animal Crossing Doom music video? I don't think I have. More power to you, Aegis. More power to you. I know we've talked about finances before on the chat. Streaming is a tough one to try and earn finances with, for sure. Keep scrolling, Ozzy. You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
This takes the cake.
And he gets out of there. You got to get a little bit of that kike in there. Takes the kike. I don't know. That was a little too Aussie. Oh, but it is an Aussie. So, what did I pick up just now? I was kind of zoning out. It's going to be some of that. Let's see. Magic tab? Question mark? Was that what it was? No, I picked up a speed belt. There it is. Which, not that great. There's many great there are many great let's swap them out for a minute. There are many great accessories in this game. It's a shame that you only have one accessory slot. This is like it's like a Zerg rush in here. That's what it feels like, honestly. There's a lot of enemies. Yeah, so I think I'd express this to you. One of my previous jobs was working with individuals who had, in some cases, very severe physical limitations. I mean, we're talking paralysis, you know, that sort of thing. And you'd be surprised at how many resources there are out there and to earn income. So if you find that streaming is the big drag that it can be, don't get down on it. There are a lot of good resources out there to those who look for them. Gosh, let me see. We got to take care of this juggler first of all. Let's see if we can get a napalm off. The Demon Edge? I doubt it. No, there's no way. Because these are selling, like this old stuff is selling for like 1, 2, maybe tops 3,000 gold. And you're talking about raising like 60,000 gold. Like there's just no way. So Dre like saying, yeah, no, I'm just being perfectly real with you. Streaming is not always the golden experience that it can be. I think it's an over glamorized element of the gaming community, but it can be awesome, and when it is awesome, it's awesome. But sometimes it's very much not awesome. And being realistic about that is good, because then people listening have expectations about what it's like to be in that position. Everybody wants to make the kind of money that the big time streamers are really making, but yeah, there's a lot. That's a long road to get there. That's for darn sure. Okay, so we've established that these outlaws do not respect, 1, the law, and 2, they don't respect magic attacks. So that's a little weenie. You know what? I think we could go ahead and actually use... we'll use that. That's not a bad heal by any stretch. I thought he still just had slurp. Got ourselves a revive. Hang on! I saw that flash. Did you see the flash? Yeah, right there. It didn't trigger that the last time. You're gonna try and chintz me out of a fight here. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not today. I will not be chintzed out. You know, all right, Chrono, take a step, and then we're gonna do that there. It seems so offensive to get hit with a giant bubble. Like how much damage could that I mean, you're talking about in the same context as being hit with a glacier or a stream of fire or something like that. But no, you've got getting hit in the face with a bubble. All right, so this, when I was a kid, this battle actually had me for a long time. I was not aware of how to get through this and sort of found it by accident. I dropped the controller and it gave me the solution to the battle, which Yeah, it's a weird way to go. Yeah, I think we'll be fine with that. Got the mist robe and the magic scarf. What is the magic scarf doing? Magic +2. Okay. We will go ahead and put the mist robe on. There we go. Ozzy time.
Thy time hath cometh, Ozzy. I'm sure Sir Magus has already called for reinforcements. Wait until Lavos arrives. I shan't be defeated. No form of attack will break my barrier.
Oh, ba-dee. Alright, yeah, this here. So, you cannot. He's right. No form of attack can break his barrier. And as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, let me see what you got. Nope, not the solution. At all. This is the first real trick that they play on you. Because there's been some gimmicky boss fights, but this is the one.
Watch where you're aiming.
Oh, I am watching, dear. Right here, this it.
Eh?
Ozzy always sounded like King Kai. Oh, probably because he looks a lot like King Kai. I could see that. I don't know where this particular voice came from. It was one that I came up with for the voice reel that I put together for the Chrono Trigger voice acting project, and they liked it enough to pick me for Ozzy. So that was a delight. If that project ever gets finished, you'll hear me do the voice again. But I don't know. Okay, that clever by the Dream Team it was sneaky. It is pretty sneaky. Yeah, it's terrible. That guy was totally bent. Gotta love localization.
We must hurry to Magus's place. Magus' eye?
Okay, we got ourselves a little bit of save point here. And let's use shelter. And yeah. And now we'll hoolie on to the next area. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's take care of all these here. Oh yes. Yes! In Chrono Trigger when the enemies all clump up together. Oh, baby. Okay, we are going to kick Luca out of the team now. I think I am going to roll with Robo. We're not going to give ourselves easy mode with Marley. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with well, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Robo. Because he's just so cool. I can't not use Robo. Plurality of Magus is a Magoo. A coven of Magoo? Yeah, Magoo, you're a genius. Yeah, that's it. You remember that movie with, was it Leslie Nielsen played Magoo? He didn't sound like that, though. Nuga, Ziena, Zieba, Zom. Now the chosen time has come. Exchange this world for... Oh, this sequence right here, freaking golden. Of course, this is a part where my mom would walk in the room. What the heck is this? Nothing, Mom is just summoning a world-ending cosmic deity. Make me a sandwich. Magus! Oh, we got a arithmetician. Welcome, Tempe. It's that stupid frog. Kissed any princesses lately?
I rather enjoy this form, and I owe it all to you. I have something for you.
Oh yeah, so good. Ah, the Masamune. I bet you're just dying to use it. How the text syncs up with the song and its crescendo. The black wind begins to howl. Okay, give me your best shot. If you're prepared for the void. Ah, they synced it up with the music so freaking good. It's so good. Whew. Oh my gosh, I'm such a huge fan. Groupies. I mean, every rock star's got to have groupies, right? How's it going, Tempe? What's up today? You came in for the best part of today's stream. I don't know. Maybe it's the best part. And Cinky. How are you doing, Cinco Play? Mama Cinco is Cinco Play's new nickname, by the way. You're required to say it. Do love 2 lines specifically in the Woolsey localization of 6. This kid's loaded for a bear. Yeah, I had no idea what that meant. I've never heard anybody use that phrase, but somebody had to explain it to me. A son of a submariner is great. Wait, what do I look like? A waiter? That's one of my favorite lines from the Woolsey translation. This Woolsey translation is or localization, beg your pardon, is excellent. Doing marvelous, darling. Simply marvelous. Is it time for the Guile fight? Yes. All right, here we go. See if I can do this. Only fire damages. Well. Oh, but we got Ruby Vest on. Yeah, take that. How do you like them apples? I think he likes those apples quite a bit, actually. This is a top 3 track in this game. Honestly, it's one of the all-time great battle sequences or battle sound things. One of the all-time really good battle themes. That's what it is. And if you don't like that, then you're wrong. And also, Labu. Oh yeah, shoot, that was the wrong. I forgot that was. I forgot that was a shadow move. Okay, that's all right. We'll play some catch up, Lightning 2, and we can do some of that, some of this. Oh yeah, no, objectively wrong. Oh, he wants some more. He's like, give us another taste, darling. Now, earlier, I think it was Dwarven Barista remarked that he thought Ozzy always sounded like King Kai. Now, in that regard, what kind of voice did you always hear for Magus? Magus? Play some ketchup? I like ketchup. It's alright. It's not as good as mustard, though. Okay, back to fire. Oh yeah, having him sound like Vegeta. I could totally see that. I don't think I've ever tried to do a Vegeta voice. But he's got that same, maybe I would think like a lower register of Vegeta, but the same sort of thing. I could see that. I always thought, even as a kid, I always thought Vegeta was a little whiny. It's like, so what if it's over 9,000? Kick his butt already. Stupid. Alright, lightning it is. Yeah, dark, mysterious, brooding, definitely. If I could fan cast, and I did put together a fan cast at one point. If I could fan cast Chrono Trigger, I would have Keith David play Magus. I think it would be excellent with that deep, gravelly voice. The black wind howls. Somewhere in that range. I can't do it, Keith David. But, I mean, what a voice. It's exquisite. Oh, that was water. It counts as water. You're going to get watered now. Check this out. Oh, Delta attack is so cool, though. But that's okay. We're going to do Bubble Snap. Bubba Snap right over here. Keith David as Chrono. Someone ban Mr. So, I got to say, all right, first of all, Dwarven Barista, welcome to the chat. I have been irritated by Mr. Tempers pretty much since the first day I've met him. This is what he does. You just have to let him run. It's like a fish that you don't want to reel in. You just keep letting the line out, and eventually it's gone. That's sort of the only approach. Chrono, Chris Pratt. Frog, Chris Pratt. Marley, Chris Pratt. Give me the sword. Give me the sword. You're going to have the sword. Oh, yeah, it's nice. Yeah. This ain't my first rodeo, boy. Yeah, it's not his first ban threaten. He has been threatened with ban hammer pretty much every day that he's on. I think that's generally the case, huh? You know what, Magus? You can't just have an infinite number of turns, okay? You can't. Let me explain why. Because you can't, okay? Some people have got to do what they can to keep their health up over here. All right? Thank you. See, are they even baits, though? It's like once you know, like if you were a rat that knew what a bait is every single time, does it still count as bait? You gotta actually like fall for it to be bait. You gotta presume it's non-bait for it to be bait. I don't know. That's what your seductive powers have no. You have no power here. Temper the Gray. and then I take off my cloak and I'm wearing a white robe underneath. And then you're like, ah! And then I'm like, I will draw you, Mr. Temper, as poison is drawn from a wound. There's your Lord of the Rings reference for the day. Too early in the week for such philosophical debates? That sounds like somebody who has lost many philosophical debates. It's always go time. Always. That's what I have to say about that. How do you like them apples? Oh, he's stuck on the lightning. I don't think he's even done shadow once this whole time. Which, fine. It's all right. Who cares? I'll give you some lightning. Moobly. The legendary, only late for the stream. But the wonderful, the talented Mobley. How do you pronounce it? Mobley? Is that what you usually say? This guy does some great art. You got to look him up on the social medias. Please do that. You won't be disappointed. If you are, go be terrible somewhere else. But Mobooty. You got me to you got me to say it on stream. Yeah, you got me. But hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming in today. What are you up to? You still got to let me know if you hey, no problem. No problem. You still got to let me I can't remember what I was going to say. As live streaming is tough. It is. Oh no, he risked casting a spell. So that means he's going to do the big bad stuff. So we got to make sure we're up on everything here. And we're doing some serious damage. Currently disappointed because I'm not looking at... Oh. You know what? I feel like there's personalities where if they don't know where the line is, they have to constantly try to find where the line is. Is it here? Is it here? How about here? Is it here? That's Cinco Play and Mr. Temper. Match made in heaven. Right there. Okay. Obviously, he's fiddling with his glove. It's a pretty neat animation. When I was a kid, I thought that was a fish. I ate a lot of fish. Maybe that's why I thought it was a fish. Oh, it's coming. On one of the coolest spells in this whole thing. The wonderful, the talented, the pleasurable. Pleasurable. Data is the dude from They Live, have made a fool of myself and submit to the sword. Did you not really? You didn't know who Keith David is? I mean, he's done quite a bit. Even just beyond that film, he's done a lot especially for the world of voice acting. With the baseball glove, it's the same color, so I could give you that. But yeah, I thought it was a fish. That's stupid. Where'd he get a fish from? It doesn't make any sense. Hey, Mobuli, remind me to DM you later today. Oh, look at this, dude. The pseudo 3D stuff that they did on the Super Nintendo, it's so freaking amazing. That's so cool looking. The first time I saw that, I just about screamed. A classic is that which will never finish saying what it has to say. This game continues to delight certainly me. I love meeting people who are playing it for the first time. It's freaking amazing. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ba-ba-boom. All right, he's got to go down sooner or later. Can't keep this. I could keep this up all day, Magus. Can you? I recently started learning and making YouTube thumbnails. Do you have a channel on YouTube? If so, I'm unaware of it. SNES was the PS1 of its time. Boss back at EA. Oh, hang on. Let's get the music going because it's so good. Okay. Boss back at EA used to say, I live just on the other side of the line. Not too far away, but close enough for discomfort. And it's good. It's good to know what people's different personalities are. It makes it easier to navigate a community. Let's see. Do Frog and Robo have dual tech which heals? No. I've got Rocket Roll, Max Cyclone, Blade Toss, and Bubble Snap. I really want to use Triple Raid. I really, really do. I think I might just do it. Oh, for a friend. Okay. Okay. I do Frog and Row have a dual tech which heals 200 a day, 6 years. Oof. I don't think Temper, you can't. Well, I mean, I'll watch you guys battle it out, but I don't think you can blame Synco Play for EA's flaws. Here we go. Yeah. So cool. Uh-oh. Look at it. Be amazed by it. Fantastic. I could hear my kid brother laughing with delight when he first saw that as well. Seriously, it is wonderful watching people play Chrono Trigger for the first time. It really is. I don't know how much more MP we're gonna need here, but I do want to say stocked up. Oh, it really would have. It would have been so. We can and we will. I mean, Synco Play. The number of times that Synco Play has not had my back, I can count on all 11 of my toes on my right foot. But I will get that man's back where I need to, and I will wholeheartedly say you cannot blame Synco Play for the flaws of EA. You just can't. You could try though. I'd watch. Hey, we did it! Chrono learns life. Awesome. All right, you're all ready for this? So, if we had not intervened, would Magus have destroyed the world here? What have you done to the Masamune? It's a large-scale energy reaction.
Could it be Lavos?
Bad timing. Don't wake up on me now. What do you mean? According to my records, Lavos was born here at this precise moment. You fools! I only summoned him. He lives in the inner earth, absorbing the land's power and growing ever stronger. Then my data must be incorrect.
What's going on?
Impossible. A gate this large should not exist. You
if you hadn't shown up.
It's an enormous gravity well.
What?
You get sucked into it. Oh, yes. Oh, boogly boogly metaphysics. Oh, my goodness. And just like that, the sphincter of time opened up and swallowed them whole. Oh, tell him, Single Play, tell him. You know what? I waited years to hear Single Play and Temper go at it. Years. New follower for you. What is this? Oh, this is an alert? Let me click on it so I don't lose it. Wow. Oh, is that a clip? I'll have to check that out. Was literally stopped in an airport security to ask him about Madden. It's just that popular, huh? Okay, let me see what else I might have missed here. Yeah. I mean, certainly when I was a kid, I thought that Magus was the final boss. Had no idea. Obviously, that doesn't make sense, but yeah. Ariel is here. How's it going? It is I. Hey, welcome back. Over 300 records in the Library of Congress Veterans History Project with the name Norton, but there are only a few Marines. Oh, thanks for reporting back to me. So did you find anything with Charles R? There's a lot to dig through. I'm quite sure. I don't know what you're talking. You told him it's a classic blunder. That's the kind of fighting that I want to see you two do. That's great. I mean, he accused you. Obviously, was wrong, but that hasn't stopped you guys from accusing me in the past. So it's fun to watch you two squabble. It's like watching ducks trying to fist fight. Red's just tired of just ganging up on it. Exactly. Back Red most of the time. Number 3. Chrono, awake? Miss Ayla, which means we're... Ayla had strange dream. Went to Mystic Mountains. Everyone lie there hurt. I carry back to hut. Yeah? Magus! Yummy frog. For Ayla eat.
Perish the thought, lass. By the way, whither the blue-haired one?
Only find you there. Blue hair one more tasty.
We have lost him.
If Magus didn't create Lavos, then in what era was it born? Lavos? Not worry now, you rest. Hurt bad. This is the most seductive voice you'll ever hear for Ayla. I'm telling you right now. There. Ariel said there. Uh-oh. What did I miss? Ayla, I thought the whole reason for streaming was so your viewers could gang up on you. Oh, yeah. Dan's touched on something. I think a lot of people think that watching streamers is like an excuse to just be like the biggest jerk. I don't think anybody in here falls under this line. But I've watched some streamers. I've been at the receiving end of some chats where people think streaming is like somebody's in a public pillory and you can just walk by and friggin' throw feces and tomatoes at their faces. I like to stream because I like to talk about these big topics surrounding these games, which is difficult. And I've expressed this together in agreement with my good friend Criterion, who is another streamer. He was really disappointed when he tried streaming through Earthbound and found that grown adults wanted to show up and just make butt jokes instead of actually discuss the nature of comedy in video games or the musical influences behind Earthbound. So, well, that's the postmodern society that we've built for ourselves. We just have to live with it. I will take the odd joke, but every once in a while, I enjoy talking about the nobler things about the art form. There's Charles Norton, but he was in World War II in the Air Force. Oh yeah, that was not old Chucky. Not the one that I know. It's amazing how many airport security anti-terrorism stories one builds when working as a game designer in the 2010s. What? How many, like, would you actively, like, is that something they're screening for when you get on an airplane? They're like, did you work for EA at any point in the past? Attitude from computers is good. It can be. I think when it's in excess, like everybody gets that, like, you know, you hang out, it's fun and games, that stuff like that. But I think when chat tries to steer things away toward the scatological, when the streamer is trying to steer things toward the noble, I think that's pretty frustrating. It can be frustrating that a conversation doesn't head in the direction that you like it to, but yeah, this is not, and I say this not to say that there's no it's a very butt move on their part. This is not to say like either of us are against jokes, right? But again, in excess is the big thing, and streamers are not pilloried fools in a public plaza that you can just, you know, throw poo at their faces. So, what butts? Question mark? No question mark. Worked on Nerf. We had a prototype Nerf done. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Carrying around a prototype Nerf gun. They're like, was this a laser gun built by Russia? Chrono, okay now? Ayla busy. Look for Laruba village. Fight reptiles together. Destroy reptiles. Or we no survive. Kino! What happened? Quiet. Chrono rest. Not wood burning. Reptiles take Kino. Reptiles hurt all who fight. What do now? Reptiles follow Ayla. Ayla bad luck. You know, it is interesting that there's a parallelism here with the future that we were just talking about earlier, where people have lost hope. It's very depressing, full of malaise. There's the same thing here. You've even got that haze over the screen that they use in the future, if I'm recalling correctly. But certainly this track that's playing now is used in the future, and so I wonder if there's some kind of conscious drawing of a parallel between these people who have kind of lost sight of their ambition as well as the people in the future. Hearing that, employees of Bethesda nearly got arrested taking photos around Pennsylvania Avenue in DC for Fallout 3. I can imagine. Oh yeah, we talked to that guy. Those who fight killed. You disobey, so reptiles mad. Yeah, this is your fault. Look, this your fault. Look at mess. Reptiles followed you, so village now ruined. Ayla feel bad. Reptiles strong. They live long time before us. They smart, so we hide. But Ayla say, fight together. Ayla still fight? Ayla fight while alive. Win and live, lose and die. Rule of life, no change rule. Old man breathe but dead on inside. Ayla, you strong, can make big talk. We have no power. No, we have power. We fight, gain more power. Ayla help you, but need Dactyl. Give Dactyl. Need Dactyl? Go to Tyranno lair? That reptile's place, dangerous. Ayla want die? Ayla want to live, so go there. Ayla be okay. Give Dactyl. Okay. Go to Dactyl's nest and Keeper will help. Careful, Ayla. Thank you, old man. You take care, Ayla. Alright, let's get out of here. Bunch of bummers. Marine Corps Archives Division in Quantico. You have your dad's full name, it would help. It's amazing what is available online. Yeah, so, Charles Raymond Norton. Charles Raymond Norton. Spelled just as you'd imagine it to be spelled. Are there any well-known plot holes or mistakes due to the time travel elements in the game? Probably. I think the plot holes is something that needs to be defined, because a lot of people I'll find, particularly in reviews that I read, will be like, and it's full of plot holes. And then they'll just name something that's either deliberately not explained or that they clearly didn't understand. So I feel like in order to answer that, Ayla sounds like Launchpad McQuack. Hey, that's true, DW. Everyone, hey, but let me tell you, hey, boo boo. I was a little bit of Yogi Bear in there. Everyone knows Ayla sounds like Launch. Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't know what she sounds like, though. I didn't keep it. If Chrono died right here, it would stop the end of the world from happening. Would it? I don't know. On's cousin found an article by a grandfather with a lot of digitized archives in Michigan. Put up a video of my grandfather. Rabbis' congregations. That's interesting. It is cool to find a lot of those materials. I wish that I'd kept a lot of stuff from my grandmother's era. She was in Hawaii as a youngin when Pearl Harbor happened. So I've heard some of her stories verbally told, but I wish I'd kept some of, like, say, written or recorded documentation, stuff like that. A lot of that was unfortunately lost during a tumultuous time in the family. Very, very unfortunate. Would have loved to have kept a lot of those things. It's like Cable in Marvel Comics. If he never traveled back in time to stop Apocalypse, Apocalypse wouldn't exist. So the apocalypse only happens because they go to the future to witness it happening? I think that Chrono Trigger does play very lightly with notions of determinism, that that these things sort of happen because they happen, and they cause other things to happen in the game that were meant to be caused. But Chrono Trigger also plays around with the notion of, like let's say, to borrow from theology, an unmoved mover. Robo later asks the question, if something, an entity, is causing these doorways through time, the gates, to appear and sort of guide them along this determined path. This game doesn't really answer that. And I think Chrono Cross barely makes an attempt to answer that question as well. But it is interesting that it at least plays with the ideas. Because certainly, I mean, this is a lighthearted adventure for the most part. It doesn't really stop to ask those questions. Like, this is not Primer, the movie. If you haven't seen that, it's a really good time travel film. But yeah, there are still things kind of questioned. Is this my first time playing Chrono Trigger? No. Curiously, not the first time that somebody's asked me if it's my first time playing Chrono Trigger since I started this playthrough about a week ago. What happens when Chrono beats the Reptites? Presumably, Lavos just doesn't materialize out of thin air in the sky and then fall to the ground. Presumably, he had already begun his trek across light years to get to Earth, either deliberately or accidentally, and it just coincided with the beating of the Reptites. Because you're not suggesting that Chrono beating the Black Tyranno and Azala is what causes Lavos to land on the planet, right? Okay, you're not. Good. I skipped down to it. It was the lizard's fault. I was like, all right, you kayfabing over here. Let's see. Chrono Break, where? Broken. It's gone. Apocalypse is a character who is invincible and ends the world, but Apocalypse, the character, was created when a human stumbled into his abandoned time machine in the past, which wouldn't be there if Cable didn't travel. Okay, see. I thought you were talking about the Apocalypse in Chrono Trigger, not the character Apocalypse. So thanks for putting that parenthetical in there. I appreciate that. I think the difference here is that Apocalypse is a human, was created when a human stumbled into his abandoned time machine in the past, right? So you've got some human agency there, whereas The world ending in Chrono Trigger is the result of a cosmic entity landing on the planet, seemingly free of all human causality, causing it to gestate, causing it to land on the planet, causing it to, develop the evolution of species in a certain direction. After more than 80 years, an old logbook containing the initial description of his vessels. It was going to be thrown out? Wow. I mean, that's even just hard to stomach. I felt nauseous just for a moment there. Those are the kinds of things that need preserving. Oh, okay. So the apes don't really care too much. They don't really care. Lightning was, after all, going to be the dinosaurs things. Dinosaurs? Whoa, wait a minute. Was that a Hawaiian name for that enemy? It was Pahoehoe. Yeah. Oh, I did not ever realize that. Those rock enemies there are called Pahoehoe. And I had to double check that I was correct on this. But Pahoehoe is a type of lava flow that results in kind of this folded rock formation. It looks as if liquid had kind of dried, almost as if you had poured liquid chocolate and it had frozen like that. That's interesting. I did not know that there was a reference to the Hawaiian language in Chrono Trigger until today, unless I just forgot that was a real thing. Ariel and I feel like you and I would have a lot of interesting discussions about historical finds. I'm very interested in archaeology. Great to preserve things, kind of like the protagonist of Chrono Trigger. It sounds like a wonderful and meaningful job, and I'm glad that you're doing it. These enemies right here. Let me see. We'll double check the names. I got it correct. Pretty sure. Oh, no. Okay, so they're called schist? But the attack that they use is called Pahoehoe. Let's see if they'll do it again. Maybe gotta hit it first. I think you do. Oh, it changes forms into Pahoehoe. Got it. Well, I'm glad to know that my favorite game of all time has got a Hawaiian reference in it. So I use, I'm streaming with OBS, and I use a plugin called, give me a second, I'll actually get the exact name here for you. It's an OBS plugin. It may or may not work with certain versions of OBS. I'm struggling to remember. Oh, it's a filter, not a... So it's a filter you have to download and install. It's called Scale to Sound. Scale to Sound. Schist is also a type of rock formation. Let's see. That would make sense here. Schist is an alternative spelling for schist with a C, a metamorphic rock characterized by its visible parallel alignment of plate-like materials foliation that allow it to split into thin layers or flakes. Derived from the Greek words meaning to split. Probably similar to schism, I imagine. Set in Hawaii, the great Hawaiian musician Keola Beamer. Yeah, he's got a song called Sweet Okole. You should look it up. It's a good one. I don't know if I knew about that. There's a lot that you know and then you forget, right? I gotta look that up. I would check that out. Yeah, no problem. Good luck to you. Always happy to share resources. Mezzo mail. Let's go ahead and put it on the tanky boy. Oh, he's still wearing an iron helm, actually. I could go get better helmets for these characters, I think. It was about the legendary Mount Snuffleupagus, not a Hawaiian word, also known as Mount Ihu Papa'a Lo'ihi Nui. Papa'a, if I'm remembering right, means burned or charred. Lo'ihi, I can't remember. Nui is like a maximal statement in size or scope. Ihu, I don't know. I know I've heard Ihu and Lo'ihi. Don't know them off the top. Never been to Kauai. Have you been? Have you been to Kauai? Or Kauai? I usually just say Kauai, actually. I was trying to be fancy. Gotta stick that was it Okina, I think it is. There it is, without human causality. Lavos. As for the identity of the entity, some people have suggested it could be Lavos himself. Chrono!
Thou goest forth alone? I know not thine quest, but a comrade of Chronos is also mine. I will not allow thee to meet thy demise alone.
No, Tyranno Leo dangerous. Maybe all perish.
You desire to perish? I refuseth to be party to yet another demise. Let us proceed, Chrono.
Ayla have strong friends. Let us proceed to the Tyranno lair. Okay, then I'm gonna call Aradactyls come over here. Ihu beak or nose, papa'a crust, lo'ihi length, nui large or many large nosed animal. Oh, cool. So you're getting char there as kind of the crust layer instead. Usually we used papa'a for when you're cooking food and you accidentally burned it. Turned out all papa'a today. Okay, how about we get the blonde team going here? Ever been in Hawaii at all? Oh, you should go someday. Gotta get back to work already. Well, have a good day. Thanks for sharing some Hawaiiana here. I appreciate it. I hope you do get a chance to visit Hawaii someday. It's a marvelous place to be in person. Certainly a very profound experience for a lot of people. A land touched by many traditions. And the food is fantastic. Are you kidding me? Come on. Man. Texas barbecue got nothing on Hawaiian barbecue. Like, here's my ranking of barbecues. I would say Korean barbecue, Hawaiian barbecue, nah. And then I would say Texan barbecue. But I don't know exactly. There might be a fourth to throw in there. Oh yeah, old school Sesame Street is great. I actually watched through a lot of the early seasons with my two kids when they had it all on HBO Max. I don't know if they're still on there, but going back and watching some of the really early stuff that's earlier than what I recognized. That's good stuff. Okay, we're gonna park our stuff here. They gotta be the best airships in all of Final Fantasy. You get pterodactyls, You get a time machine. That's good stuff, folks. Okay, so let me see about helmets here. Okay, let's go ahead and load this page. So we could get stone helms. Oh, hold up. Hold up. After returning to prehistory following the defeat of Magus, the trader will have upgraded the weapons he has to offer. Okay, so there's 2 helmets I want to get here. We may have to do a little bit of grinding for some of this stuff. We've got a lot of things, though. Horns and feathers. Rock helm. And let me get one more of these. And then want to get the... let's try petal and feather and see what we get there. Should be a new robo weapon. Magma hand, yep. Okay. And then fang and horn. Should be a chrono weapon. Fang and horn. The Aeon Blade. So that's Primeval Blade. And then there's a Dreamstone Gun, which is Petal and Fang. And then there's a Dreamstone Bow. So it's going to be Dream. And that is Petal and Horn. Okay, let's equip some stuff here. So we got the Aeon Blade. Rock Helm is good. That's all good stuff. What is Rage Ban again? Oh, it's the counterattacking. Got the Rock Helm. Ruby Vest Power Scarf is good. Dream Bow. A Rock Helm. I'm sure we'll equip that. What was Third Eye? Can't remember. Oh, it's times 2 evade. Times 2 evade's fine with me. It always feels weird to equip anything else other than the Masamune. But at a certain point, you gotta roll. Oh, we need one more stone helm. Actually, 2 more stone helms. Should be good. Okay, so what was stone helm is horn and feather. Let's see if I actually have enough. Yep. One more. Yeah, I know, sir. What was it? Horn and feather. There we go. Attaboy. Man, this game's so much better than a Nintendo. Oh my gosh. It's hard to believe they're on the same system, honestly. It really is. It really, really is. How are we doing on health stuff? Oh, we do need to go sleepy bye. Can't remember which hut has got the red star in sky. See during daytime. So reptiles follow chief. Went northward. Red star grows strong. Bad sign. There we go. Sweet water. Oh yeah. But you're still hungry. Okay. Time now for the good stuff. This track. Stone armor is stronger than iron armor. It could make sense if it's like imbued with runes or something like that. But yeah, if it's just like regular old stone, I can't see it. Oh, you heard that. How dare you have an opinion that be correct? Look at this Tyranno layer. Great. This piece of music right here. Ugh. So good. No, can't open that one. I guess same thing for gold armor, huh? Single play. It's like these games kind of trained us to think that like gold is so good, and it's like, well, it turns out it's softer and weaker. I remember when my dad told me that, I was like, well, that's a letdown. Could have sworn that gold armor was better than stone armor. Nope. Turns out that's dumb and stupid. It's a darn shame. But what if the gold armor had runes of strengthening on it, written in Tengwar? Then what? Everybody out. Trained us to think that bandanas are decent starting protection. That's wonderful. Yeah. I can see like an accessory, right? Like a ring is like, oh, it makes you a little faster. Like, does it? Really? Magic? Okay, sure. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, video games were never about realism, you know? We only recently, I want to say, started kind of trying to make things overly realistic and then getting pedants out there who'd be like, well, it's not realistic to have distant humanoid ancestors of dinosaurs building a bone castle that you can only reach by flying pterodactyls into after you've time traveled back into prehistory, trying to stop an apocalypse being generated by a cosmic horror. It's like, now, duh, clearly it's not realistic. Thanks for being the main course. Oh, who's talking? Oh, Reptite. It's the apes. I like to think they've got a little going on there. A little. Because you know why? Because they do. That we're getting way randomly generated gear that has nonsense stats like. Oh yeah, I imagine it seems more like a MMO-ish kind of thing. I don't know. Or like a Final Fantasy 12 kind of thing. Maybe some escapism. Oh, there was a great line I read recently. This is a quote from Neil Gaiman, who said something like J.R.R. Tolkien taught us that those who inveigh against escape are the jailers. Something like that. The point being that the people that complain about escape, what are they trying to do? Well, they're trying to trap you. That's called being a jailer. Ayla! Kino, get back! Ayla, save you. The button's right over there, Ayla. Wow, they are cave people. Look, Neanderthal, out of the... Well... she is good at solving problems. We'll say that. Wow! Sorry, Ayla. All Kino's fault. No matter. Kino escaped with Laruba villagers. What Ayla do? Put end to this. Kino go too. Kino no come. If Ayla dead, Kino new chief of Ioka. Ayla. Kino, what a loser. Yeah. That was the sound she made when she burst through. Yeah. Ayla strong. Ayla no lose. Kino understand and show you something. Wait, I want to see what's in here first. Gotta look around because you never know. Look, see? Mid-ether. Inside that egg. Slow down, Kino. Boom, boom. Love that sound effect. You strong, me weak. Ayla good chief. Oh yeah, bubbies. On to the next section. Alright. Can't remember which way to go here. Oh, shoot. What time is it? Oh, okay, we're still good. Maybe we can make it through this whole dungeon. This whole fungeon. Oh, no! That's bad. Oh, yeah. So actually, I want to go back to a question that Mr. Temper asked earlier. Are there any plot holes or mistakes made as the result of time travel in this game? Trying to think of something that obviously is not trying to appeal to an overly dedicated sense of realism, because you're already kind of acknowledging this is fantasy. Its physics shouldn't necessarily be beholden to our physics, but it should have an internal sense of logic, right? The real Canadian Rage. How's it going? Hello, how are you? Welcome. We're talking about any potential plot holes or mistakes in Chrono Trigger as a result of its oh, that's a little embarrassing. As a result of its time travel mechanisms. So one thing we were talking about previous, I don't remember that it's confirmed in this game or not, but if Scala is an ancestor of Marley, and that's the lineage of Ayla through Scala up until the Guardia dynasty, how's that work if Scala and Janus are the last generation of the Zeal thing? Hey, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. Testing. Ooh. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me at all? The real Canadian Rage. You should be able to see, yeah, their names appearing on the side of the thing. Time Mage. I don't remember what all those do. Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a status restoration. Kiss. That one does recover status. So we were asking about that the other day, as I recall. I don't know. I don't pronounce the word school like shul, because I'm not Megamind. So I'm gonna say Scala and be happy with that. Okay, let's do this again. Boom. Skip those guys. Hey now. Yeah, Marley and Scala and Ayla. I can't every time I hear the name. Next, you're to try and tell me it's pronounced Chrono Trigger. Never heard such nonsense. Hey, we got Cat Attack, and Volt Bite is a favorite. That is one of my favorites right there. Oh yeah, that's right. This is kind of like a teleportation room. So let me see here. Let me grab this. Tonic. You know what? Volt Bite is just so cool. Okay, here we go. Check this out. This is where it's at. It is. Boom. Plot hole. How come when Chrono hits Ayla with lightning, it doesn't kill her? I feel that's like every, what are they called? Red letter media? I feel like that's like every one of those videos where they sit down in a circle and just like, how come when Batman gets in his Batmobile, he can drive? All right. What was the tweet going around recently that YouTube had ruined art criticism? Because it has. People thinking that Cinema Sins, that's what it was. People thinking that Cinema Sins is how you write reviews and do criticism. Woof. Woof, I say. Ding! Square Enix. Okay, so then I gotta find where... There we go. Alright. What happens if I try that again? And then we go over here. There it is. Another Mesomail. Mesomail. You know what? You can go ahead and have that. Probably, I mean, I really think Ayla and Chrono are the most Akira Toriyama looking portraits. Like this, I feel like that could be anybody. Any artist. It's got some Toriyama qualities to it, but so does that one. But these look straight out of Dragon Ball. Why don't they take the Eagles to Mordor? The trouble with not reading is you come up with stuff like that and think that you're the first person to have thought it. You know what I mean, Mole? I think I think that's a huge problem as in general. We don't engage with the cultural discussion that's been around since before you were born. Yeah, that's how you get stuff like that. I know it. I'm the first person to think this is stupid because XYZ, and it'll be like, nah, I've been talking about that for a while. Why don't they take the Eagles to Mordor, though? It's pronounced Isla. Oila! Oi, he's Oila over here. We're gonna go smash them reptiles. No, not buying it. And if you're from an area of England where that's what it sounds like all the time, I apologize. On behalf of Mr. Temper for coaxing it out of me. Holy moly! Hey, I hope you're having a good day. I hope things are well for you. And all that jazz. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, we're making our way through Tyran Castle. One of my favorite themes in the game. Was it Tyran or Tyranno? Shoot, I'm Mandela affecting myself right here. Amygdala affecting myself. I think it's Tyranno Castle. I don't know. Something that's never really explained in the movies. The ring corrupts. Hobbits are naturally resistant to that corruption. The Eagles would have killed the Fellowship just to get the ring. Yeah, absolutely. Once you realize that the Eagles are of the same category of being, if you like, not class, as Gandalf, Saruman, and Sauron, then yeah, they would absolutely be tempted by the ring themselves. I think the movies don't explain a lot just in general, but I think that there is a little bit of discussion in there about hobbits being, resistant to its tempting influence because of their simplicity, their humility, their smallness, right? Because it's almost like, through me it would wield the power too great and terrible to imagine. That sort of, there's this scaling, right? Same thing with Galadriel. So the greater the person is, the bigger that temptation is for the ring. Until you get to the upper echelons of Galadriel and Saruman and stuff like that. But Fatty Bulger, I mean, imagine Fatty Bulger being tempted by the ring. What would he even want? He'd be like, more pancakes, please. That sort of thing. Hey. The other one is, you know what? The other button is a bad button. I'm pretty sure I remember that. Because they're servants of Manwë and are forbidden from taking to active role in Middle-earth. It depends, though, right, Mole? Because they have taken an active role in Middle Earth. They showed up for big battles. They showed up for the battle at the Tower of the Teeth at the end of near the end of the Return of the King. They showed up at the Battle of the Five Armies. So I think they have taken active roles in Middle Earth, but how active? There's probably degrees of activity, but I think the best argument there is certainly what Dwarven Barisa put forth, is that they would definitely be tempted by the ring as well. If you think a Dark Lord is bad, imagine an Eagle Dark Lord. Tempted Hobbit was Smeagol Gollum. That is a good point. He was already not a nice person, right? And he was like was he a Harfoot? No, he was one of the progenitors of the hobbits, right? So not as laid back Shire hobbit like Bilbo and Frodo and Fatty Bolger. But he was already a little bit on that kind of skewed side, so there was definitely temptation there for him. Absolutely. Enough to kill his friend for it. A greedy person. Not to mention, pretty easy for Sauron's all-seeing eye to detect an eagle flying in the sky. For sure. And then Sauron had his own air force as well. He had 9 unkillable ring wraiths. So that's pretty big deal. And it could shoot lasers. Nah, I don't know. I would use the ring to force Red to play Koei games all day, every day. Well, thank goodness you don't have the ring. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, the Eagles are all Maiar. Yeah. There may be something about, like in the same vein of Ungoliant breeding with spiders, monstrous spiders, to create like a new lineage of spiders. Possible that that's the Eagles that were originally Maiar, kind of breed to become a new race, but I'm pretty sure they're all Maiar. Proto Store, thank you, not Harfoot. Harfoot's on the brain just because of Rings of Power. Darn it. I'm just a Harfoot. Next time you watch Rings of Power, which is hopefully never, you have a drink. Drink water and drink responsibly. Drink water every time the main Harfoot says, I'm just a Harfoot. And you will be pleasantly and plumply hydrated the whole time that you're watching Rings of Power. Nintendo battle theme plays on loop. Yeah, oh man. Yeah, see, this is what I mean about just showing up to watch people get tortured. Okay, so let's Julian over here. Get on out. So Ariel, actually, I have a question for you. You mentioned quite a lot of things about Hawaii. You said you've never been there. Is there a special interest in Hawaii that you have on a personal basis? Or is this just something that you've sort of... These are things that you've picked up because of your job? How's that work out for you? Oh, boy. Well, and that's handy. Nice. Actually, they dropped 22. They dropped 22 tech points. So we're already almost getting the same number of tech points as hunting the new. I should have just hit those things. Didn't even think to do that. Whoopsie. There we go. Attaboy. Now let's see. I think that there's stuff coming up. So let's go ahead and let's do a little bit of this lightly. There we go. Yeah. The boy. Azala's in the back. I have no idea what Nizbel is supposed to sound like. Bodybuilding Triceratops. But we are going to go ahead and use this here. Didn't need to heal anyway. Couldn't remember if there was a fight here or not. Of course there is. There you go, AFK. One thing to add is something that never really appreciated is Boromir picking up the ring and willingly give it back to Frodo was a Herculean feat on his part. Absolutely. Probably would not have happened if they were alone, just Frodo and Boromir, but with the pressure of Aragorn, Gandalf, and the rest of the Fellowship there. Yeah, and you could totally see it, especially in the film. You know, one of very few characters to have willingly given it away. Found lots of interesting things about Hawaii while spending much of 2021 digitizing maps of Hawaii, dating from the process them at home. So it's something that you've picked up from your work then, right? Like that I think is really cool. Preservation is a huge theme in Hawaii. So I am really grateful that you're doing that work. Hold it. This is a special place. The great Nizbel was defeated here. What a curious line. This is Nizbel 2, but Nizbel 1 was not beaten here. Nizbel 1 was defeated back in the Forest Maze area. So I'm not sure what he means. I wonder if that's an awkward mistranslation. Let's get a little haste going. So I was reading The Lord of the Rings to my children not too long ago, you know, about a year or so ago, and found that they were still a little too young for it. I think they were 9 and 7 at the time. They're a little older now, and I've tried to reread it to them. We're still in about towards the tail end of the Two Towers, and they're doing much better. I love the idea of kids reading classics. There's a whole literature encouragement podcast or movement right there. Kids reading classics. I love the thought of that. Yeah, Voltbite is freaking fantastic. Of course, he's gonna wipe us when he discharges all this energy. Are there kind of cultural things that you discovered, or that they discovered for Alaska, similar to your experience here with darn it, with Hawaii? Okay, let me think here for a second. Yeah, we're gonna want to Aura Whirl, I think. Starting to take quite a bit of damage. We got Cat Attack. Read them Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. So given your past history of trolling, it's hard to know when you're being serious or not. But I haven't read that myself, and I would probably read something to myself before reading it to my kids. Like, hey kids, today we're all going to read Catcher in the Rye for the first time. Oh! Let's see. Attacking under the drill kick. That's fun. Let's do that. Yeah, I forgot about this one. Not as good here as the other bits, but you know, we do what we can. Stoked your interest. Wow, like I said, I hope you get the chance to go someday. His power was going up. That's not good. Let's do a Volt Bite, because that is an excellent attack here. Yeah, it's and I'm sure Temper is joking. It's interesting talking about parenting on the internet. Some people have some very curious ideas when it comes to parenting. I remember asking this question, and I'm sure some people were playing around, but a couple of people that I pressed on the issue sounded very serious. I remember asking a question like, "What do you think are the best starter video games? You know, to get somebody interested in playing video games for the first time, a young person, you know, your kids. What what games would you introduce to your kids as their introduction to video games? And you know, you had the Final Fantasy Mystic Quests, Legend of Zelda, Mario, sure, these really accessible franchises. A couple people were like The Last of Us, Resident Evil, and I was like, isn't one of the bosses in The Last of Us somebody like trying to commit a specific kind of assault against a minor? Why on earth would you say that should be your child's first game? And they're like, I asked them that, and they were like, well, because then they'll never be afraid of anything ever again. I was like, and they might wind up traumatized. I don't know. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but you're old-fashioned. Let's see. Oh, okay. What was library has instant capture cameras? Change jobs within the library to cataloging. I love Temper. Oh, now you love him. Before you were like, ban this guy. He has that effect, though. At first, you're like, wow, abrasive. And then you're like, you know what? That's my kind of abrasiveness. It is. I think they would just give up. I mean, I gave up as a kid on lost levels. I think you'd have to be forced. You would have to force a kid to play the lost levels. Which I've been accused of forcing my kids to play retro games because some people out there can't imagine that a kid would ever find a retro game fun, which is just mind-blowing. But here we are. Hey. That's not very nice. I mean, that's an uncommon perspective too, because usually people ignore the Atari 2600 and everything previous. What are some of the games that you would recommend somebody show to their kids from the Atari 2600 that would get them to not hate video games? Like let's say Atari's 2600's Pac-Man. You know, like surely you're not gonna say that. You might say what? Yar's Revenge, Adventure, Pitfall, maybe. I don't know. Not E.T. Don't be silly. Oh, hello. Now, you know what? I'm not going to push that because I think it's a trap. I can't remember exactly. But we got the door open. That's all that matters. Pterosaur. Here we go. Volt Bite all day.
I will not be silenced.
Had a special issue dedicated to the 40th anniversary of Super Mario. Yes. I had the opportunity to pick that up and I decided not to. I can't remember why. But I saw it and I was like, hey, I should buy this. And then I missed it. Curious to know what's in it. Frostbite I hadn't heard of. Keystone Capers, heard of that one. What do you think about Burger Time? Ask these pterosaurs what they think about Burger Time. What does that sound? That was weird. So you are being serious then, Temper. You're not trolling again? You have to convince me that you're being serious. So I think that one of the reasons why retro games do appeal to young players is they don't know any better. No, I'm just kidding. Is the simplicity of retro games.
So, you're here at last. This is it then, the showdown. Today there will be a conclusion. Will it be the reptites, or you silly apes who end up ruling the world?
Strong survive. Ayla strong. Ayla fight.
Hear that lovely voice? You'll soon become the best of friends.
That is a tall jump, my friend. Oh, one of my favorite things right here. Oh no, it's not this one. It is in this game, right? There's a throne that you could sit on, and they do like a little laugh. It might be in the later layer. I don't know. Okay, let's have ourselves. Let me see here. I think we'll stick with this. We'll roll with this for now. See, a lot of older gamers with kids notice that their kids often don't like older games because of challenge. Kids who would rather just play Minecraft on creative mode. Yeah, I think so. You can find easier games, you know, from the past, but they're certainly, I think, on average, more challenging, right? So, for example, my kids recently latched on to Mario Paint since they brought it to Nintendo Switch. It has that certain kind of creative mode flair to it, right? Where they can just play it at their ease and there's no real huge challenge unless you're playing like the Fly Swatter game. Yeah, one button simplicity, right? Jojo Verdejo, how's it going? How are ya? Welcome, Dr. Grant, to Jurassic Park. Here it is.
Red star, fall, stain the earth red. Though it may be our fate to perish, we will not simply hand this world over to you. With this black tyranno, I can finally exterminate those filthy apes.
Oh, big boy. Oh, yes, and it plays the boss theme number 2, baby. This is the good stuff. Okay, this is good stuff. We're going to take care of Azala first. Used to lose hours in the Music Maker and Mario Paint. Yeah, they really love the Music Maker. My eldest is really interested in playing piano, so there's a lot there that he can kind of transfer from his interest into Mario Paint. So that, I mean, that one's a good example. But obviously that's a pretty rare. That's not a game that I would say is characteristic of most retro games, but you can certainly get a lot out of it. Maybe I should be using lightning too, I think, here. Unfortunately, we had to add a second about it. It is Chrono Trigger. Jojo, we're playing the GOAT. Chrono Trigger. This year is the 30th anniversary of Chrono Trigger. We began playing it on my 40th birthday. It just made sense. So, this is our celebratory playthrough. I'm gonna go ahead and use the lightning attack, and then gotta get rid of Azala here. Yeah, the Chronos. Have you played through Radical Dreamers at all? Finally got that official re-release with the Chrono Cross collection for modern systems. So I finally had a chance to play it myself, and it is it's all right. I mean, it ain't no Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross, I'll tell you that. But it's okay. It's not a terrible game. I think this is a good part of criticism right here too. Is like good at, or like there's good and good at being what it set out to do. I think that those are two very, very fair things you can ask about something. Oi! He ate more Molly. Did you see that? Yeah, well, let's make sure we cure that up. Honestly, that's not doing much. Not doing much at all. Are we still on Chrono Cross? Are you playing through Chrono Cross for the first time, or are you replaying it? Oh, that was not great at all. It's only marginally great. Marley, Scala, and Ayla being related shows Toriyama believes in the divine right of royalty. Well, he didn't write the story, right? For this. But that's what we were talking about earlier. Is Scala the ancestor of Marley? If so, how does she pass on the lineage? It's a good visual novel we go in expecting. Exactly, right? So that's my point, James. Like, it's good as a visual novel, but if you go in expecting a Chrono Trigger, you're not gonna get it. Chrono Trigger 0. Stop policing your jokes. I am gonna police your jokes. You know why? Because truth, justice, and the well-read mage way. Now, what is it? Volt Bite over here. Having a time doing some damage. Don't remember if there's a specific gimmick on this boss, but we do want to take down Azala first. Oi. We're still kind of averaging at that 200 damage that we get from the dual teching. So I don't know. Marley does have her pendant. Obviously, you can inherit an artifact without, you can inherit an artifact from somebody other than your literal ancestor. But if Scala has no children, how is Marley Scala's descendant? Is the big question, right? Am I playing on Steam? No. So this is on original hardware. You're looking at a CRT screen. See my fingers? Woo! That's right there. Yeah, so this is on OG hardware, SNES version, ladies and gentlemen. Which coincidentally, my favorite version of the game. Never played the DS version, sadly, but I always felt that this game deserved to be a big screen game, not a small screen game. So I want to see them port Chrono Trigger over, and all that jazz. The illusion is pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Uh-oh. We got 5, 4. You know what that's gonna do? Let's just make sure everybody's up. We don't know if she doesn't have kids. Yeah, so you could argue like from a mission, right? But that sort of throws into some suspects. So she doesn't have kids, right? If she doesn't have kids, then she's clearly not Marley's ancestor. So that's what it hinges on. If we can't prove it or disprove it, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Ice Sword time. And I thought for the longest time that Scala is Marley's ancestor. But I don't know. I don't know if that's demonstrable. Okay, there you go. So Azala is toast. Now we can focus our efforts on the Black Tyranno. The Black Tyranno is Marley's ancestor. You don't know. It doesn't show us that he has kids. He may have kids that were not shown. What do you have to say about that? Huh? Might explain some of Guardia's draconian policies when it comes to their politics. Could be. Maybe. Actually, I haven't played the Steam version for this either. I've heard things. I've heard things about the Steam version that give me great pause, let's say. Yeah, I would like Chrono to have MP. Yeah, now we're talking big old damage here. Haste is so good. Haste is just an all-around excellent tech. Sorry, I couldn't think of what it was called. No, how much damage are we looking at? That's a chunk of change right there. That really is. It's all right. Chrono Trigger. Chrono got his hit in there. I'll do one more of those. Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling to think of any Final Fantasy game in which haste is terrible. It's a great move. Underrated, let's say. I mean, the fact that I just said that means that somebody out there thinks that haste is overrated. Because there's no opinion that could be possessed that is not possessed by at least one weirdo out there. That, I think, that's the big lesson of the internet. There's always somebody who has got a very strange opinion. Oh, you were writing this huge... So you got baited, I guess, into debating the redstone. Yeah, I mean, like, so let's say both are plausible, right? Like, it's plausible that Scala has no children. The pendant just descended through time as an artifact and came to be possessed by Guardia that gave it then all the way down to Nadia. That's plausible. It's also plausible that Scala has children that just are never shown, not seen, somehow not killed during the destruction of Zeal. And which one, if we go by Occam's razor, which one seems like the simpler explanation? There are some for sure in which it absolutely does seem like you gotta haste it up over here. All right, let's use another one of these, and then we can Volt Bite that. One of my favorite moves. I really enjoy Volt Bite. I love that this giant sprite turns gold right there. Looks so cool. This guy can tank a lot of hits, though. He really can. Okay, how are we looking? We'll survive it. We'll survive it. Did Chrono just counter the Black Tyranno's roar? I was zoning out again. All right, we're good. We're good. And we got a big old sequence here to go through. Uh-oh. Are we back? I think it froze there for a second.
No, it can't be. Could the heavens truly have sided with the apes? Listen, primates, and let it be known, we reptiles fought bravely to the bitter end.
Ayla understand. That's what Ayla sounds like when she's surprised by something.
Soon, stones of fire will rain down. Flames shall scorch the land. The burnt-out plains will slowly freeze, ushering in a long, cruel ice age. What a treat. You will wish you went along with us.
Lavos. Pardon? Oh, soak this up. Right here. This is the stuff. Okay. The Starfield looks amazing. I mean, you've got like some Star Fox stuff going on in here. Bring your little hedgehog Cthulhu self down. Oh yeah, imagine if the game had froze. Whew. Now I had an alarm going off on my phone. Ayla's word. La mean fire. Vos mean big. Ayla. Kino. You know, Azala could have joined our party. That would have been neat. Hurry, Lavos come soon. All right, Dactyl. Kino, hurry! Ayla, what you do? Come, Azala, come.
Absolutely not. The powers that be have spoken.
Ayla, hurry! Azala, me not forget.
The future.
Future? What about future?
We have no future.
Chilling line. He was chilling and directing genetics, and he was busy. He was doing stuff. Oh, yeah. He's just down there making noises. That's what he's doing. That's one of my favorite sound effects ever. So, Lavos descended in this era. I always thought those looked like skulls in the background. Lavos huge. Chrono fight it? Chrono, we go where Lavos fall. It just arrived, so there may be something we can do. Let's go see. Chrono, I don't want to. Okay, unfortunately, my friends, I got to draw it there. I got to be heading out. It was a great time with y'all. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. We'll be back, and for sure, we're going to get to my favorite part of this game. I really love everything in Magus Castle, Tyranno, Lair. That part of the game is fantastic. But this next part took my breath away first time I seen it. You don't want to miss it. Be here tomorrow. Tell a friend. Bring a friend. Tell them, hey, you want to watch this schmuck at work? Like he does, playing Chrono Trigger on original hardware. And he's like, what's Chrono Trigger, boss? And like that's the guy that you need to bring in the stream. All right. Until then, see you later. Mahalo. Have a great day. Bye-bye.